Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to build a live well that will get attached to the front of this center console. Here's a quick little sketch of the diagram of everything needed to get this build done. So we're doing a 4-to-1 mix so it could cure fast with some silica. Gonna make the glue to glue these boards in, clamp them up, let them dry, and then we're gonna fiberglass in. Alright, we got a nice thick batch of epoxy made, as you can see. Alright, so I'm stuck here holding the boards squared until they dry. Alright guys, it's a new day. We got the box all glued up here. We're gonna make a false floor out of the next piece of Cusa board, but I had to go to West Marine because I almost made a pretty good mistake by not measuring the fitting, because I need 3.5 inches for the false floor, so this 90 can fit underneath of it. So yeah, I was gonna go with 3, so thank God I didn't do that. Alright, quick little dry fit before we glue it in. See, we got about a 1/4 inch to spare, enough to get the hose and clamp on there, so good. All right, we got our thick epoxy all around the edge here. Time to drop her in on the line so we know exactly where we're going. Right about there. We're gonna clamp it up. Alright, it's kind of sturdy. Now we're going to take all this excess epoxy, run it down here, and fill it in like that. Alright, so we got the false floor glued in. Got some nice seams going all the way around. Got the clamp in it. So it'll take about 30 minutes to an hour to cure enough to work with. So in the meantime, I'm going to come over here. I took the center console back out of the boat, and now we're just gonna grind the surface in here, so get it ready to get glassed in. All right, we're all masked up. Pretty much 4 inches on that side and 4 inches on that side. So what I'll do is just mark it here so I know where to put the box when I go to glue it in. Alright, got a nice bead going all the way around. So time to get this thing put in. Alright, I'm gonna have to put the camera down for this though. But remember, I marked the line so I know exactly where to put it. Alright, so the live well box is officially glued in. We got some nice seams going all the way around. Cleaned them up a little bit off camera. This is by far the worst part of any job I do with boats, is the grinding. gel coat all grinded down nice and clean. Got this edge knocked down nice and clean too. Let's see. I went ahead and rolled some 1:1 epoxy ratio to the chop strand. Got it all wet. Now I'm gonna flip it over and get it tied into here. I'll try and do this with one hand. Let me pull it. Get it into position. Sorry. So I got that cut right there so I can fold in nice and neat. Get the concept like that. Alright, we got our layer of chop strand all the way around. Going to the edges here. Overlapping here. So going over all the way to the edge there. So now we're going to get our pre-cut of 1708 sheets and get that laid in now while the glass is still wet so it starts soaking in. Now that I got this side pre-wet, we're going to put the mesh side down of the 1708. Let's fold over. Obviously I'm going to put some more epoxy down. I just need to show you guys this in the video. Alright, so we got the bottom side all glassed in with some mesh. I gotta fix that, it kind of popped up right there. But yeah, see that? Outside with mesh in 1708 on the seams. Gonna let this cure. Alright, so I just got back from FGCI. Found this really cool piece of board. Has a bunch of cuts in it. So you could curve, turn it, do whatever you want with it. I'm gonna make the curves of the live well, the inside of the live well, and here the curves so the fish don't die. Because if it's a straight edge, the fish can't swim and rotate, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. Alright, we got our epoxy mixed up. Gonna take our first piece of chop strand. Well, I'm just gonna lay it in here and start getting it wet on each side before I lay it in. Alright, so it's been a couple hours. It's nice and solid. So what I'm gonna do is mix up a batch of the pour foam and pour it down in the corners. Alright, got a good color mix. Now let's pour it down. I poured way too much foam in there. Let's try and get this thing out. Ew, it's like hot jello. Alright, so now that we got the top all grinded off, I'm gonna whip up another batch of epoxy. I got pre-cut chop strand here with some slits so it folds nice when I lay it on in the floor. Then whatever left of the epoxy, we're going to mix up a thick batch of the silica. And with that thick batch of silica, we're gonna put here and fill up the voids and cover up this foam, so if there ever was water intrusion in it, it won't affect anything. Get it nice and wet. Do its thing. Alright, so I went ahead, this is cured with epoxy, all this is cured with epoxy down in there. This thing is solid, nice and smooth. I'm running out of Kusa board, so I had to use 2 pieces. So I got this piece cut here, like so. Now I'm taking this piece, like that. Just gonna use that so I don't have to buy another whole sheet of Kusa board for this lid. Alright, so now that we got our 2 pieces of Kusa board epoxied and fiberglass together to make the top part of the live well, I'm gonna get a D-shaped lid cut out. Alright, we got our lines traced out here for the lid. Alright, so we got the top part of the live well here. Got a 1/2 inch rim going all the way around so the lid can sit on there. Flip it over. Got the edges all grinded down. About to take our 1:1 ratio epoxy, lay down some chop strand and then some woven, so it gives it that strength for the lid when people go to sit on, you know, it doesn't fall in or whatnot. Alright, so we got the lid for the live well all done and got the hatch compartment all cut out. Got the lip here. Gonna get this grinded down with the grinder and then grind up the center console, get it cleaned up a little bit, and then we're gonna apply some all grip to it and get that sanded down and cleaned up. Alright, got everything on the center console grinded down nice and smooth and clean for the all fairing compound. Same thing with the live well. I'm gonna wait to put the lid in until, or the top part of the live well, until I get the inside all fairinged up so it's easier to get to. All right, we got our all fairing compound. It's a 2-part compound, 1-to-1 ratio. We're gonna get this mixed up and then apply it onto the center console and get a nice smooth finish. All right, guys, we got the inside of the live well all sanded down, got nice round edges. Now we're gonna take the thickened batch of epoxy, lay it on the top, and then get this lid glued in as best as possible, and then take whatever left over and start filling up these sides with. Now I'm gonna put it on thick, but not too thick. I don't want it oozing out like crazy, because I want the inside of the live well to be nice and clean. Alright, you can't really tell, but there's a thin layer of thickened epoxy all around the top here. So now we're just gonna lay this in and get it as straight as possible, kind of rub it around, make sure get a nice contact and get it leveled in. All right, the lid for the live well's all glued in. Got all the seams all around, nice and glued in. All right, so new day, the lid's nice and dry. Got a mix of our fairing compound. So we start putting it on our corners and start getting it all formed. This thing is solid. All right, we got the lid glued in and a lot of the fairing done. Same thing on the inside, nice and smooth on the inside. So what we're doing last in this video is drilling 2 holes for the drain port and the in port of the water for the live well. The drain port here, it's gonna go in the center. It's gonna be a drain, and then this pipe, you plug it in and it serves as an overflow when you are running the live well. And this is obviously the aerator. So let's get to drilling some holes. Drain put in, we got the aerator put in, and then we got the, like I said, the overflow gets plugged in like that. I have to trim this down a little bit, but there she is, guys. We got a lot more work to do on her, but she is pretty much done. So I hope you guys learned something in this video building this live well. With that being said, like and subscribe and stay tuned, because we're not done on this 17-foot Mako.